Today we are talking about one of the most studied supplements in the entire history of sports nutrition, creatinine. And I want to start with something very personal. My dad is 65 years old, almost 66, and his whole life he's been an active guy. He plays volleyball, he moves, he never sits still. But lately, he's telling me he feels more tired after the game, that recovery is harder, that his body just doesn't respond that the way it used to be. And one day he called me and said, "Son, can you give me a doloneurobion?" And I'm like, for those who don't know, doloneurobion is a combination of B complex vitamins with diclofenac, basically a painkiller with anti-inflammatory. And I, as a medical student, had to tell him with all due respect that that's not what you need. The Diclofenac will take away the pain, sure, but it doesn't rebuild the muscle. It doesn't help you recover. It doesn't give you energy. It's like pouring water into a car that needs oil. It masks the symptom, but it doesn't fix the problem. So I started researching what I could actually help him, and I found creatinine. Today, I'm going to explain why I recommend it to my dad, what the science says about its benefits for those for both high performance athletes and older adults, and whether it's really as safe as people say. Stay until the end because there is information here that doesn't get talked about enough, and it could genuinely change someone's life. Before we get into the benefits, we need to understand what creatinine actually is, because a lot of people take without really know how it works. Creatinine is a substance that your body produces naturally. It's synthesized mainly in the liver, kidney, and pancreas, and is stored mostly in your skeletal muscles. Its main job is to serve as a rapid energy source for your muscle cells. How? Through something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP is essentially your body's energy currency. When you make an intense effort, a jump, a sprint, a vertical spike, your body needs ATP immediately. And creatinine is what allows that ATP to regenerate quickly so you can keep performing. And here's the thing, our muscles are typically only 60 to 80% full of creatinine at baseline. When we supplement, we can raise those stores by 20 and 40%, and that directly translates into more energy available for the muscle during intense exercise. The most studied, most affordable, and most effective form for creatinine supplement is creatinine monohydrate, or creatinine monohydrate in English, okay? Don't fall for premium version on the market. The science backs monohydrate above all others. Now let's talk about why athletes use it much. Creatinine is one of the most researched supplements in the world of sport, and we're not talking about marketing claims. We're talking about decades of studies published in high-impact scientific journals. Benefit 1. More strength and muscle power. Studies consistently show that creatinine supplementation increases maximum strength, muscle power, and work capacity during high intensity, short duration exercise like weightlifting, sprinting, and team sports. That's why organizations like the International Olympic Committee and the NCAA allow it without any restrictions. Benefit 2. Better recovery and between efforts. If you play a sport where you need to explode repeatedly like volleyball, soccer, or basketball, creatinine helps you recover faster between each effort. It reduces muscle damage and helps you regain full production capacity more quickly. Benefit 3. More lean muscle mass. When you combine creatinine with resistance training, studies show significant increase in lean muscle mass. It's not magic, it's that by being able to train harder and recover better, muscle grows more efficiently. Benefit 4. Lower risk of injury. There is evidence that creatinine helps you prevent muscle injuries or reduce their severity, something any athlete who plays regularly will generally appreciate. If you are an athlete, creatinine isn't just a luxury, it's science-backed tool. So, think about it. Now here's the part I am most excited to talk about, and one of the most hits closest to home. What happened to our bodies as we age? Starting around the age of 30, we begin losing muscle mass gradually, roughly 3 to 5% per decade. By the time we reach our 60s, that process accelerates, and it has a name, sarcopenia. Sarcopenia isn't just getting weaker with age, it's a recognized medical condition that increases the risk of fall, fractures, loss of independence, and even cognitive decline. According to the World Health Organization, sarcopenia raises the risk of fall by 40% in adults over 65. And this is where creatinine steps as incredibly early. The most recent studies, including meta-analyses that look at over 1,000 participants above the age of 55, show that creatinine combined with resistant exercise significantly improves muscular strength in older adults. This is not a supplement just for young people. If anything, older adults may be the ones who benefit from it the most. Several studies suggest that maintaining adequate creatinine levels may support cognitive function in older adults. Going back to my dad, he didn't need a painkiller to cover up discomfort. What his body was asking for was real muscle support. A 65-year-old man who's still active playing volleyball is putting serious physical stress on his body. And creatinine combined with proper nutrition and hydration can make a huge difference in how he feels and how he performs. For active older adults, experts recommended 3 to 5 grams of creatinine monohydrate daily, ideally paired with resistant training 2 to 3 times per week. Now the $1,000,000 question everyone has it. Is it safe? Let's break it down. Myth 1. Creatinine damages your kidney. This is the most repeated myth, and the most debunked by science. In healthy people, creatinine taken at recommended doses does not harm kidney function. Studies in healthy individuals have found no evidence of kidney damage at normal dose. That said, if you already have a pre-existing kidney condition, the picture changes. In that case, always consult your doctor before supplementing. Myth 2. It's like a steroid? No. Creatinine is not an anabolic steroid. It does not alter your hormones. It's a substance your own body already produces. You are simply supplementing it. It's only for bodybuilders. As we already seen, creatinine benefits athletes across multiple disciplines, older adults, and there is even research on its benefits in people with certain neurological conditions. It's not exclusive to anyone. Are the real side effects? The most common one is intramuscular water retention at the beginning, which can show us as a little weight gain. This is normal and is not fat. There can also be a gastrointestinal discomfort if very high doses are taken all at once, which is why it's now recommended to go straight to 3 to 5 grams per day without loading phase to minimize these effects. For healthy people, creatinine has one of the best safety profiles of any supplement out there. Creatinine isn't a flashy supplement on the market. It doesn't come in a shiny package promising miracles, but this is arguably the most science-backed supplement you can take. Whether you are an athlete or another adult who wants to stay active and strong. My dad is starting to use it and I'm looking forward to hearing how it feels in a few weeks. If you have an older family member who is still active, who feels like their recovery just isn't the same anymore, who's dealing with more discomfort than usual, before reaching for a painkiller, talk to their doctor about creatine. It might be exactly what their body needs. If this video helped you, share with someone who needs it. A family member, a friend who trains, or someone who always has questions about this supplement. Hit like if you learned something new today, subscribe if you don't have one already, and leave me a comment. Do you already use creatine, or do you know an older adult who could benefit from it? See you in the next video, White Coat Curiosities family. Take care of yourselves.